My beautiful ex-girlfriend, as gorgeous as a flower with a swan-like neck, whom I hadn't seen in years, had become a famous lawyer in the wealthy and beautiful social circles. One day, I got drunk and played a truth or dare game. I was dared to call my ex-girlfriend, remain silent for 10 seconds, and then tell her I was married. The call connected, and a pleasant voice echoed from the phone, "Hello?" I remained silent until the 6th second when she said, "Do you want to get back together? If you do, or else your 10 seconds will be up." I hurriedly interrupted her, "I'm married." The other end was silent for a moment, then said, "I can use everything I've learned to help you get a divorce." I, Cole, a somewhat well-known online fiction author, was attending a party for writers today. I had drunk a lot of alcohol and my head was a little dizzy. I don't know who suggested playing truth or dare. When it was my turn, they said, "Call your ex-girlfriend, be silent for 10 seconds without saying anything, then tell her you're married." Of course, writers' minds are truly creative. The 10-second silence is to give the other person space to imagine. How thoughtful. I smirked, opened my phone book, searched for Jade, hesitated for 2 seconds, and then called. Jade, my first love, my ex-girlfriend, now a famous lawyer. 5 years ago, after graduating from university, she chose to study abroad. We couldn't overcome the challenge of long-distance relationship. Our love fell apart. I broke up with her, or more precisely, she was cold to me. As an online fiction author, I am not short of imagination. All those days and nights she didn't reply to my messages or replied late, I imagined different scenarios of her cheating. "Hello, Cole." Jade's deep, cold voice came from the other end of the line, breaking my train of thought and pulling me back to reality. I looked at my friends around me and gestured, "Shush," adhering to the rule of silence. "Cole, can you hear me?" Jade asked again, "Do you want to get back together? If you do, I also." I took a deep breath. "I'm married." The other end was silent for a moment, then said a sentence that I will never forget in my life. "I can use everything I've learned to help you get a divorce." Before my friends could tease me, I hung up. "Cole, you are awesome. God, Cole, your talk is so cool," my friend Ben said. "And the name Jade is so fitting for a novel's female lead." I really wanted to tell them, "She's not just a girlfriend. I'm awake now." These devils always come up with all sorts of tricks when it's my turn. Let me call Jade to say sweet words, or propose. The lines were all prepared for me. They said it was to find inspiration for writing novels, but in fact, they wanted to toast me. I didn't follow any of their requests, just drank a lot of alcohol, 1 glass, 2 glasses, 3 glasses. Very quickly, I was drunk and lay down on the sofa, drowsily seeing someone adding my WeChat. Recently, the publishing house has arranged a new editor for me, probably that person. I agree to add as friend. "Where are you playing?" "Ah, the new editor just came and wanted to urge the manuscript, exploiting cheap labor. This scumbag. Rest today, I'm not going to work." I sent a voice message. Because I drank a bit too much, I don't know if the other person could hear clearly. "Drunk already?" "Oh, this editor is quite smart. Just a little bit. The manuscript will be written tomorrow. Give me a day off today." An editor this smart, I dare not offend. "Send the location, I'll come pick you up." I looked at the message on my phone. The lounge with other authors. See that? The company values great online authors very much. As soon as they heard I drank, they came to pick me up immediately, even to help him get a divorce. Could it be that this editor fancies you? Zach, who was sitting closest to me, the one with the richest imagination among us, blurted out. How could it be? "This person just arrived. I haven't even met them before." My words started to slur. He snatched my phone, sent the location, then it's just right for them to come here. I'm stuck with writer's block. Can't write anymore. Let's make use of resources. All right, today I'll show you guys a beautiful love story between an author and an editor. I don't know if it was the effect of alcohol or not. I became reckless. Half an hour later, Jade appeared at the door of the room. They were all stunned by her beauty. As for me, I was scared to death. "Are you Cole's new editor?" Zach took the initiative to ask. "Just now, you also told us you wanted to broaden our horizons, to see a beautiful love story between an editor and an author." The sentence after could be omitted. I swallowed hard, mumbled, "Jade, you are." Jade raised her eyebrows, her clear eyes staring at me on the sofa. I secretly glanced at the cinnabar mole in her eye. So alluring. "Really? Cole, are you afraid things are not noisy enough, so you dragged me in here?" "I'm his ex-girlfriend." Jade pulled me up, looked at me with a half-smile. By the time I came to my senses, I was already in Jade's car. What are you going to do? I looked at Jade warily, getting closer and closer, her face also getting redder. Fasten your seatbelt for you. Jade pulled the seatbelt next to me, fastened it without hesitation, moving away from me. What do you think I want to do? Oh. I forced a smile, staring at Jade's slender, white fingers, starting to imagine all kinds of novel plots. Where's your home? In my heart, I swore I had only just thought of a novel plot. The woman used a hand as strong as an iron grip to clench his wrist, hatefully asking, in your heart, is there finally a place for me? I regretted not being able to bite my tongue, and could only silently chant, Amen, 100 times in my heart. Cole, do you know what the concept of adultery is for someone who is married? Jade looked at me coldly. The corner of her lips curled into a beautiful arc. Or do you think Jade will be a homewrecker for you? Jade gradually moved closer to me, looking at her magnified face approaching. I was a little dazed, the temperature in the car gradually rising. We also got closer and closer, nose to nose. Just as her nose was about to touch mine, a sudden wave of nausea came, breaking this ambiguous atmosphere. Ugh, so embarrassing. I should still go to sleep. Once again, I woke up. My head felt like it was about to explode. I didn't open my eyes, just wanted to moan. Is this the feeling of head explosion? Whether my head exploded or not, I don't know. But what about my clothes? Jade's voice beside me instantly sobered me up. My head no longer hurt. My waist also no longer ached. I jumped up like a carp. Why are you at my home? I warily glanced at my clothes. Luckily, I only took off your jacket. Cole, Jade, or should I say Autumn, sat up, gritting her teeth. Open your eyes wide and look carefully. Listen carefully. Hearing her say that, I looked around. Beautiful light purple wallpaper, completely different from the blue-green decoration style of my home. This is my home. Last night you vomited all over me. I asked you where your home was. You didn't say anything and slept like a log. Jade propped her chin, staring at me intently. Have you forgotten that I am a lawyer? If you died on the road, my lawsuit would be very troublesome, ha. Thank you, boss, for saving my life. No success, no farewell. I slowly retreated backwards, intending to slump onto the bed and run away. Wait, boss, do you have anything else? My clothes. Jade calmly pointed to the expensive, glossy business suit that I had vomited on, lying on the bedside table. Ah, boss, my lord. Can I wash it clean and return it to you? I swallowed hard, looking at the expensive fabric, my scalp tingling. Jade nodded, and I tremblingly walked to the bedside table, beside her. She frowned because of the unpleasant smell. Ugh, this smell makes me want to vomit. I'll go first. She put on her coat and left Jade's home. Let me take you home. I was about to refuse when I heard her continue. This suit is very expensive. I'm afraid you'll run away. I had no reason to refuse, only could say the address. Throughout the journey, the atmosphere was very awkward. We didn't say a word to each other. I'm here. I'll go first. The clothes of Jade. I don't want to stay with her for another minute. Back home, I still couldn't help but silently shed tears. I met Jade when I was in university. That day, I went to the library and saw her sitting reading a book by the window, legs crossed elegantly, graceful and poised. My heart suddenly thumped, feeling like the female lead in a romance novel appeared before my eyes. At that moment, no matter what flowery words I used to describe her, it was not an exaggeration. I mustered up the courage to ask for her contact information, pursued her fiercely, appearing in front of her every day, and finally plucked this proud flower. After that, ring, ring, ring. The phone ringing interrupted my recollection. I answered the phone. Inside was the murderous voice of the editor-in-chief. Your long campus romance novel has been stuck at idea for a month. Readers said if you don't update, they will send blades to us. What do you think? Editor-in-chief, my lord, it's not that I don't have inspiration. After the male and female leads graduated, I don't know how to continue writing. I said softly, afraid of offending him. Or, I write a short story first and publish it in the magazine. Strangely enough, I have an idea now. Cole, I'm giving you a final deadline of 1 week. Quickly write the novel. Otherwise, you don't want to see my corpse appear at your home, do you? Giving you a bit of horror material, huh? The editor-in-chief's gloomy voice came from the other end of the line. I felt a chill down my spine. Before I could beg for mercy, He had already hung up. Ugh, I irritably ruffled my hair. Why is my life so miserable? I took Jade's clothes to the dry cleaners, instructed the dry cleaners boss to wash carefully, and then went home, dejectedly sitting in front of the computer. My novel was stuck at the point where the female lead, Summer, went abroad to study, only contacting the male lead, Bach, by phone. I couldn't continue writing. That's right, my representative work in the sweet romance genre was written about my story with Jade. I had liked writing novels since university. At that time, I always recorded every bit of my interactions with Jade in a notebook. For example, in winter, he bought me a roasted sweet potato, not to eat, but just to warm my hands. For example, I squatted down to tie his shoelaces, then looked up and said to him, "Fool, you can't even tie your shoelaces? What would you do without me?" That moment was so beautiful. Another example, the day before he went abroad to study, he hugged me tightly, eyes red, saying, "Wait for me." After he went abroad to study, I started writing. With sweet and delicate love stories, I established a foothold in the online novel circle. After that, I ran out of ideas, couldn't write any more stories. The reason was that Jade and I broke up. She took away all my inspiration and talent. 3 months ago, rumors spread online that Cole wrote good angst stories, but ran out of ideas and couldn't write sweet stories anymore. I was not convinced, tossed and turned for several days, so angry that I lost sleep. Why can't I write good sweet stories? This is not difficult, but when I sat in front of the computer, my mind was blank. If you can't write, then go fall in love. Once you fall in love, you can write. I don't care, don't ruin the reputation of our publishing house. The editor-in-chief roared at me like this. I had no choice but to open my phone, subconsciously flipping through my university notebook. Damn it, I've struck gold. I took the small memories between Jade and me in the notebook, added some embellishments, and posted them online. Since then, the rumor of running out of ideas and not being able to write sweet stories automatically disappeared. After writing for 2 months, I stopped writing because my story with her only went this far. To keep my job, I had to start making up stories, but how could I make up an ending for a true story? My head buzzed. No, I will give them a bad ending then. I started rewriting my story with Jade, with the identities of Bach and Summer. News of Summer is nowhere to be found. Bach can't bear it anymore. Even if he calls, they still look at each other without saying a word. Long-distance relationship is really too tiring. He proposed to break up. Writing to this point, my heart also ached. I clicked post, closed the computer. The sunshine outside was so beautiful. I took a photo, edited the filter for a long time, and then posted it on WeChat. A novel is like the author's child. Only by pouring all your heart and soul into it can it make many people like it. After replying to some fans' comments, I browsed Weibo to find inspiration. Weibo naturally didn't lie to me. I had more material for the novel. Teasing Jade. My mood was really not very good. Sending a ugh message to the editor-in-chief, I started brainstorming for a new angst story. In the past few days, I stayed up late and got up early. Except for going downstairs to get food, I didn't leave the house. Just like this, writing continuously for a week, the story was completed. I sent the manuscript to the editor-in-chief. The editor-in-chief coldly replied, "Okay." I was just about to turn off the phone when Jade's message popped up. "Where are my clothes?" Been too busy these days. I forgot about it. I'll bring them over right now. I hurriedly put on clothes, went downstairs to get the clothes. The boss had washed them a long time ago and was still keeping them there. "Come downstairs. I'm at the gate." "I'm going now." "She's here already?" I hurriedly ran down to the gate of the apartment complex. Jade's prominent black Porsche was parked at the gate. She lowered the car window. "I've washed them." I handed the clothes to her through the car window. "Get in the car." Sitting in the car, Jade stared at me intently. I felt a little scalp tingling. "Did you quarrel with her?" Jade turned her head and asked. "Who?" I didn't react for a moment. "Your wife?" Uff, I almost spat out water. Why ask that? "This week, I drove past your home and saw you always alone taking out food and trash. What's wrong?" "Unhappy married life." "Jade, you are stalking me." I widened my eyes in shock. How long has she been lying in wait to be able to see me always alone? Thinking carefully, it's really scary. "Just happened to pass by." Jade said indifferently. "Just happened to what extent? Could it be just in time to see me take out the trash and get food?" I exposed her. She directly answered my question, Jade didn't continue. She stared at me, the cinnabar mole in her eye very clear. I swore, if hitting someone was not illegal, I would definitely punch Jade. In the evening, Jade called me. I was stunned. Since breaking up, I hadn't blocked her. She also had never called me. What's the matter? My clothes. These days, irregular life made my stomach a little uncomfortable, and I vomited on your clothes again. Going around and around, I borrowed another set of your clothes. How much money? I'll transfer it to you. 160,000 VND. I will wash it clean and send it to you. I had to bow my head to the dark forces for the sake of livelihood. I was just about to hang up when Jade spoke. Cole, if it's me, what then? I was puzzled. If she really doesn't come home all year round, where does she go? I was even more confused. Cole, why does Jade like to grit her teeth so much lately? Do you want me to be a homewrecker? I suddenly understood. I lied to her that I was married. She believed it to be true. Lied to her that my wife doesn't come home all year round. She also believed it to be true. But Jade, be a homewrecker for me. Jade, do you really want to be with me even if I'm married? I saw Jade didn't speak and asked again tentatively, is that so? Receiving an affirmative answer, I instantly froze. Back in school, Jade was the goddess in the hearts of countless boys, a proud flower that I had to spend so much effort to pursue. Now, she actually wants to be my secret mistress? 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'll pick you up for dinner. Jade finished speaking and hung up. What's going on? Although I don't have a wife, she thinks I have a wife. It must be said that my breakup with Jade was not something trivial, no misunderstandings, no cheating, no family feud like in novels. It was just because Jade and I had time difference. Moreover, she was really too busy. Sometimes for 2 days in a row, we didn't speak a word to each other. The last straw was Valentine's Day a few years ago. She had promised me early on that she would come back to my side to talk to me for a few words. The night before Valentine's Day, I stayed up very late. Finally, she told me she was about to board the plane, and I went to sleep. The next day, I went to the airport to wait for her early in the morning. 10 a.m. plane. I arrived at 9 a.m., waited until 8 p.m., still didn't see her. I sent countless messages. She didn't reply. Finally, I tiredly returned home and fell asleep. The next morning, I only received a message from her. Sorry, yesterday there was a sudden case, phone ran out of battery, didn't have time to tell you. Happy Valentine's Day. Is there anyone so busy that they don't have a moment to reply to a message? Is there anyone so busy that they don't even bother to look at their phone while eating? That night, I decisively sent her a message, let's break up. Then deleted all contact information. I didn't block her. Actually, in my heart still hoped she would come to find me, but she always didn't contact me. I was depressed for a long time. Finally, Editor-in-Chief Dawn came to my home and forced me to cheer up. Just like that, we went our separate ways. Now, the person who even at the time of breaking up was unwilling to bow her head is now willing to abandon her pride to be my secret mistress? I was utterly unexpected. Just like the first meeting, I was still moved by her. The next day, I even specially dressed up a bit, satisfiedly looked at myself in the mirror, went downstairs and sat in the passenger seat of Jade's car. What are we going to eat? I asked her. To the sushi restaurant you like to eat. Jade replied. That sushi restaurant was the one where Jade and I agreed to go on Valentine's Day that year. Afterwards, she didn't come, and I didn't go either. Jade, are you willing? She didn't answer me. Arriving at the sushi restaurant, we looked at each other without saying anything. Jade was still like before, cutting beef in the hot pot for me. Before long, my bowl was full. Jade, are you fattening a pig? I couldn't help but mouth off. Humph. She glanced at me like looking at an idiot. I silently ate all the beef in the bowl. Eat slowly. If it's not enough, order more. Jade looked at me, appearing as if I had never eaten before, a bit helpless. Too full. After paying the bill, Jade took me to the shopping mall upstairs. I was a little embarrassed. This meal was on her, but thinking about how cold she was to me before, I suddenly felt at ease. On the way strolling in the shopping mall, I bought her a hot milk tea, the strawberry flavor she liked the most. She happily drank, just like when we were in school. I unconsciously took Jade's hand. When our hands touched, both I and she froze. I was just about to let go when she tightly held my hand. I turned my head and met her dark eyes. Jade, what is this ambiguous atmosphere? We just like this, holding hands, no one speaking, walked to the door of a store. Jade stopped. Let's go in here. She said gently to me. I looked up. It was the store that I wanted to take her to on Valentine's Day that year. My heart suddenly felt sour. Turns out, she still always remembered. She meticulously compared the clothes on me. It must be said that her aesthetic taste is very good. I only tried on 3 coats. Each one was very suitable for me. The saleswoman was still vigorously marketing. I glanced at the price, a little stunned, put them all away. Jade didn't hesitate to hand the card to the saleswoman, feeling like being supported by a sugar mommy. Usually, seeing anything over 500 renminbi, I had to consider for a long time, but she bought them without batting an eyelid. It's also true, her coat cost over 10,000 RMB. I'll take you home, okay? Jade said. Huh? We're already here, not watching a movie? Isn't the normal dating process all about watching a movie then dinner? I'll treat you to a movie, okay? Jade seemed a little surprised. We watched a movie, not a romance. When the male and female leads kissed, I was a little embarrassed and glanced at Jade. She was seriously watching the movie, not at all awkward. Cole, what are you thinking in your head? I hurriedly turned back, patted my face, forced myself to finish watching the movie. Until the movie ended, I was still thinking, why just now when the kissing scene came, did I have to glance at Jade? Holding hands had become very natural between us. Cole. She looked at the awkward expression on my face and asked puzzledly, what's wrong? Nothing, just too hot. Wearing too much, haha. I took off my coat, trying to appear calm. Is that so? Jade pondered. I also no longer had the mood to eat dinner. Leaving the cinema, it was already dark. Jade used the excuse that taxis were too expensive to take me all the way home. I'm home now. Thank you. Hey, what's wrong with you? I was just about to close the door when Jade suddenly moved closer to me, her eyes puzzled. After a while, she spoke. Tomorrow night, I'll pick you up again. You rest early. Jade finished speaking and left, leaving me alone stunned in place. Watching her car leave, I returned home. About half an hour later, Jade sent me a message. Looking at the message on my phone, I was a little surprised, just like between couples in love, girlfriend reporting her itinerary to her boyfriend. Okay. I replied. The other party didn't reply. The next day, Jade didn't contact me. The third day, she didn't text. The fourth day also not. For a whole week, she didn't contact me. I was a little sad, but very quickly, I was made to have no time to be sad by the work assigned by the editor-in-chief. Don't know why. This month the editor-in-chief arranged a lot of work for me, not only requiring me to revise 3 short campus romance stories, but also requiring me to sign books for readers. I was busy for a whole month to finish everything. Suddenly, I remembered the contract I signed had not yet been given to Autumn. The time was still just in time. 2 p.m. afternoon, I called Autumn. Autumn, can you come to get my contract? Right now. Autumn's voice sounded tired. If it's not convenient for you, tomorrow is also fine. I heard the unusual tone in her voice. Teacher, I'll come over right now. Autumn was nearby, saying to me that she would arrive in 10 minutes. I looked at the pile of garbage from the past half month, told Autumn to wait downstairs, just in time for me to take out the trash and conveniently give her the contract. When I met Autumn, she was holding a very large bouquet of roses, panting as she ran over. Here I am. I just handed the contract to Autumn and looked in surprise at the bouquet of roses. Failed confession? Autumn dejectedly replied. Teacher, tell me, is there still a possibility between me and the boy I like? Sincerity is the ultimate move. I also didn't know how to comfort her. After all, my own love life was also a mess. Hey, I'm so miserable, Wawa. Autumn actually burst into tears. I was at a loss, looking at the girl crying in front of me, a little helpless. Teacher, can I hug you? Autumn's weak look made me unable to refuse. I opened my arms and hugged her. She hugged me and cried for a long time, then wiped away her tears, revealing 2 cute rabbit teeth. Thank you, Teacher Cole. I feel much better now. If teacher doesn't mind, this bouquet of flowers is for you. Just like that, I blankly accepted the bouquet of flowers and blankly went upstairs. Back home, I put the bouquet of roses on the ground, conveniently took a photo, edited it for a long time, and posted it on Weibo. Sincerity is always the ultimate move. Below, fans commented, Great God Cole, are you in love? I thought of Jade's face and thought of her not contacting me these days, resentfully replied, still considering. 2 a.m., I tossed and turned, unable to sleep, watched horror videos to find inspiration. A sudden knock on the door startled me. Is there a ghost? I cautiously went to the peephole on the door and looked out. Saw it was Jade. 2 a.m. What is she doing here? I opened the door. Jade rushed in and hugged me tightly, smelling strongly of alcohol. I couldn't stand still and fell to the ground with her. Jade, I tried to call her name. I can only be your mistress. She leaned her head on my shoulder, whispered in my ear. I heard her mood didn't seem good. You're drunk. I wanted to push her away, but she hugged too tightly, had to give up. I'm not drunk. I saw everything. That girl gave you flowers and hugged you. Jade saw the bouquet of roses that Autumn gave me, lying quietly to the right. One mistress is not enough. Cole? You are extremely angry. Autumn is my editor. I pushed her away, explained. She was dumped. The bouquet of roses was useless, so she gave it to me. Jade regained a bit of rationality, propped herself up, stood up, at a loss looking at me. So that's the reason you didn't meet me? These past few days, I've been researching divorce agreements and what terms can get the most assets after divorce. What are you looking into those things for? I tilted my head, puzzled by her actions. Don't you want to marry me, Jade? Jade asked back. Jade, I'm a second marriage, you know? Can you accept a divorced man? I was a little surprised. Can, if it's you. Looking into her sincere eyes, I was a little flustered. Jade took my shoulders, seriously said, being with me, I won't be like her, giving you a chance to divorce. You are digging someone's wall corner. Didn't you say if I divorced, you would marry me? In a daze, Jade's eyes darkened. I suddenly felt she had a fragile beauty. Replacing the female lead of the angst story with her wasn't impossible. Then if I divorce, when will you marry me? I pretended to waver, looking at her. Any time. She seriously took out her household registration book and handed it to me. As long as you want. Let me think again. I falteringly accepted Jade's household registration book. I don't want a divorce yet. Jade's eyes darkened again. I suddenly felt she had a fragile beauty. Replacing the female lead of the angst story with her wasn't impossible. Then you still want to maintain a mistress relationship with me? Thinking of how cold she was to me in the past overseas, I decided to tease her a little more. Can you often meet me? Jade asked. Why can't I? I asked back. What about that, her? If your wife comes back? Jade didn't continue speaking. Her? Oh, you can rest assured she can only come home for a day or two during the new year. After speaking, I felt something was wrong, raised my head, met Jade's puzzled eyes. I smelled a hint of danger, automatically shut my mouth. Jade, I didn't mean that. She didn't speak, her eyes even more dangerously radiant. I'm just giving an example. In a daze, why is her kissing technique so good? I frowned, suddenly pushed her away. Why is your kissing technique so good? How many people have you dated overseas? Only you. You are the first ray of morning light shining on me, starting to chase after cows grazing. Sorry, wrong set. Sorry. Why is your kissing technique so good? How many people have you dated overseas? I looked at the sunlight shining on Jade's beautiful face, my mood inexplicably happy. I have a house, have a car, have a motorcycle, have a woman, and the woman is so beautiful. Jade's eyes slightly moved. She narrowed her eyes, used her hand to shield the sunlight, hoarsely said, Awake? Just woke up, peeking at you, caught in the act. I embarrassedly said softly, Let me go cook for you. I watched her busy back in the kitchen, a hint of sweetness rising in my heart. Suddenly, the novel was no longer blocked. It was time for the male lead to return home and reunite with the female lead. I had an idea. After brushing my teeth and washing my face, I opened the computer, prepared to concentrate on writing. After that night, inspiration in my head surged like a spring. I started typing like flying. Cole, time to eat. Jade walked out of the living room. I was startled by her voice. I hurriedly saved the manuscript and closed the computer, went to the dining table. Wow, unexpectedly you can even cook? I picked up a piece of fried egg and put it in my mouth, instantly brightened. Must know that when Jade was still in the country, we lived in rented houses and always ordered takeout. I once suggested wanting to eat home-cooked food. At that time her cooking skills were so bad that I didn't let her cook again. Is it because of someone that you learned to cook? I raised my eyebrows, suspiciously asked. Learned for you. She replied calmly. After eating, Jade had to go to work first. Before leaving, she asked me if I wanted to move in with her to live together. I was afraid she would see the novel I wrote, which was based on our story, so used the excuse of occasionally having to take video calls from my wife to refuse. Closing the door with her slightly resentful face again, I took a deep breath. A scheming smile appeared on my face. I started typing like crazy, Finally finished writing the section of the female lead Summer returning home. Summer pulled her luggage, took off her sunglasses, stood at the airport, the corner of her lips curled into a silent smile, said. Writing to this point, I paused. After a month of delay, I updated a chapter. Let me see what readers say. Why is it angst again after writing? I want to send blades to Cole. Give me the address now. Great God, it's been a month. My cat has turned into a demon because it couldn't read your story. I'm back. I smirked. Readers were still as humorous as ever. An anonymous comment appeared. He plagiarized. Someone is ghostwriting for him. I have evidence. This comment attracted my attention and was pushed to the top of the comments. Below, all were loyal readers speaking up for me. I smiled. The story of you guys, you don't know my efforts, you don't understand. I didn't pay attention to this comment anymore, leaned back, rested my back on the sofa, so comfortable. Are you at the company yet? Today there's a case to handle. We'll be a bit late. I'll come see you later. Jade sent me a message. I hurriedly opened my phone, replied, okay. Jade is obedient now. Knows how to report her itinerary to her boyfriend already. I was a little happy. Opened her moments, found she posted a photo of breakfast with a caption, Hubby Redheart. Like this won't make her friends misunderstand that she's married? What are you planning to do in this matter? Cole, do you know Jade is married? My university classmate whom I hadn't contacted for a long time, Evan, sent me a message. Evan always liked to gossip. Back then the news of Jade and I being together was also considered a sensation for a time. I don't know. I was a little apprehensive. It must be, two people have been broken up for so long. Such a good woman. Not worth you bothering about. Tomorrow night, class reunion. Are you coming? Everyone hasn't seen each other for many years. Want to get together a bit. Initially, I didn't want to go, but Evan told me rich kid Grace booked a table at the city's finest five-star restaurant. I rubbed my stomach and agreed without hesitation. In the evening, while eating, I told Jade about this. She asked me, location? I'll wait for you downstairs. I thought for a moment, okay. Anyway, she's downstairs. I leave the party early. No one will see her. So I agreed. Are you afraid your wife will find out? Jade obviously misunderstood my intention, held my hand tightly, slightly squeezed. Nonsense. It's just that classmates really like to gossip. If they know I'm with a famous figure like you, we'll definitely be asked all sorts of questions. I explained. Jade didn't speak. After eating, she held my hand and strolled in the apartment complex. We chatted casually, but most of the time it was her listening. She saw me downstairs. I said goodbye to her. She said, no matter how long, I will wait for you. Floating with happiness, I went upstairs. According to habit, opened the phone notebook, recorded everything that happened between me and her today. End of the month. Half an hour later, Jade's message appeared on my phone on time. I'm home. Good night. Crescent Moon, good night. Crescent Moon, I happily replied. Between us, 5 years have passed. Seems like everything has changed. Also seems like everything is still the same. I clearly felt her concern for me, although usually taciturn, but I still felt her sincere care. Maybe because she had grown up, and so had I. Again finished writing a chapter, I went to shower, then went to bed. Every day, just need to recall every bit of being with Jade. In my heart I feel happy. After a while, I will tell her that I'm not married, scare her. The next day, I hadn't even had time to write. No, hadn't even had time to wake up. Autumn sent a manuscript of the long sweet romance novel. She said, will be revised by 8 p.m. tonight. I took my story with Jade as the soul, entrusted to Bach and Summer. The response was very good. The popularity of the novel was getting higher and higher, surpassing everything I had written before. Editor-in-Chief Dawn coldly sent a message. Cole, you've been doing well lately. Keep up the good work. Raise your pen and work hard. Early the next morning, Jade, still drowsy, came to my home, dragged me out of bed from my sleep. Sign what? Today is not working. Let me sleep a bit more. I pouted, drowsily looked at her while she rummaged around the house. Get up now. Go register for marriage now. It's 1:40 a.m. The Civil Affairs Bureau opens at 9 a.m. Queuing up. Jade directly dragged me up, looked at me with fiery eyes. Last night I didn't sleep. Early in the morning came to find you. Can't let you run away again. I'm going. Let me sleep another half hour. I flusteredly waved her away, covered my head with the quilt. Not even 1 minute I can wait anymore. Extra story. Jade's perspective. From the moment Cole stepped into my life, I found that everything around me suddenly became radiant. He was radiant and dazzling like a blazing flame, burning my heart. After graduating from university, I chose to study abroad. After going abroad, we had time difference. The time to talk became less and less, common topics also less and less. I saw him in video calls. When I shared about my daily work, he would doze off. I smiled and scolded him as a fool. I became more and more worried, afraid he no longer loved me, afraid he couldn't overcome the challenge of long-distance relationship. I promised him I would come back to his side on Valentine's Day. When I was about to board the plane, I was stopped by the supervisor at the airport and called back. When I got my phone back, looking at over 99 plus unread messages, countless emotions surged in my heart. I messaged him back, "Sorry, yesterday there was a sudden case. Phone ran out of battery. Didn't have time to tell you. Happy Valentine's Day." He actually said break up to me. I sent a message back. Beside it was a red exclamation point. I knew I hadn't given him enough care, so I also didn't dare to contact him again. I poured all my energy into work, only hoping to return to the country soon to see him. These years abroad, I was almost so busy that my feet didn't touch the ground. Finally, I returned to the country, but I still didn't dare to contact him. I admit I am a coward. I was afraid that even if I tried to salvage, he would not turn back. He called me. I asked him if he wanted to get back together. He told me he was married. He had never lied to me, so I believed it to be true. I thought I could use everything I had learned to help him divorce, help him get the most assets after divorce. I thought I was crazy. Unconsciously, I added his WeChat. After a long time, I received a voice message from him. He was drunk, mistook me for his editor. Could it be that his married life was unhappy, so he went out drinking to drown his sorrows, so he called me? My thoughts were so vile, but I couldn't restrain myself, no longer thinking about it. The calmness and restraint of so many years collapsed completely in the moment he called. I secretly cursed myself for being useless, asked for his location, and hurriedly rushed over. I took him out of the bar. He vomited all over me, vomited all over the car. I took him to my home. He hugged me tightly and wouldn't let go, mumbling words I couldn't hear clearly. I couldn't control myself, wanted to meet him. I knew this was against ethics, but I just wanted to meet him. He asked me what I was doing, if I wanted to be his mistress. Logically, I should have refused. Also shouldn't have ruined other people's families for my own crazy desire for possession, but I didn't do that. I answered, yes. I am such a despicable person. I want to be with him, but don't want to be with him as friends. I would go crazy. I became his mistress. I took him to eat, went for walks, did all the things that should have been done on Valentine's Day 5 years ago. That night, he asked me if he divorced. Would I agree to marry him? My hand holding the steering wheel slightly trembled. I couldn't restrain the desire to be with him. I was silent. I took him home. He seemed a little angry, directly left without saying goodbye. I also didn't dare to open my mouth. I am a coward. I was afraid that once I opened my mouth, I wouldn't be able to help but tell him to divorce today. I flipped through divorce files, stayed up for several nights in a row to complete the initial plan. That day, I went to his home, wanting to tell him about this, but saw him hugging a girl downstairs. That girl even gave him roses. I was extremely angry, drove away, found a bar, and drank alone to drown my sorrows. During that time, many beautiful girls came to strike up conversations. I frowned, said, "Go away. You are not even as good as a finger of coal." I secretly thought in my heart like this. In my head, the image of him hugging another woman appeared again. Because I don't come here often, so he found a new lover? I was extremely angry. 2 a.m. I saw him put the bouquet of roses on the ground. My rationality broke down. But he told me that was just his editor. She was heartbroken. He was just comforting her a little bit. Sounded very lame, but I actually believed it because Cole would never lie to me. I am still his mistress. He doesn't want a divorce. Then I will wait until when he wants to divorce, wants to leave that woman. We held hands and strolled like normal couples. Under the sweet shell was my painful struggle. I am a bad person, a person who is not upright, using such despicable means to be with him, but willingly. No, I have to go see. Recalling that video, I didn't have time to think much, rushed straight into the private room, calmly said a sentence. He is married. I am his mistress. When pulling him out, I turned my head to look at the woman stunned in place. The corner of my lips curled into a smile of victory. Even if just a mistress, then I am also the only one. I rationally helped him solve the problem. wanted him to trust me. When he hesitated to send me the notebook, honestly speaking, I was shocked by the notebook's file size, up to tens of megabytes. What did he write? And it took up so much space? I couldn't help but be curious. After reading it, I was even more shocked. Turned out it was all our memories. Turned out his novel was written about our memories of us. I spent 4 hours to finish reading all the content in the notebook, suddenly realized we had experienced so many things. I kept saying sorry for my negligence, for letting down his sincere and passionate love for me. I started working overtime, working frantically, just to help him solve everything properly. I found out the IP address of the person who defamed him. It was that unknown author, Evan. I sneered. Such a person also wants to ride on Cole's coattails to become famous? I will sue until he is bankrupt. Teacher. Just as I mentioned Chow Chow, Chow Chow arrived. Before knocking on the door, I had already heard the sound of cooking in the house. I guessed, could it be his wife? My hand trembled, but I still knocked on the door. I wanted to see, what kind of woman is it that has gotten him? It was a woman over 30 years old, simple and unpretentious. He is really happy. Cole actually gave me up for this woman? That woman left. I was overjoyed. He is forever only mine. I proposed to him. He made a request, wanting me to help him solve the online defamation issue properly. Then he would consider. Finally, the matter was clarified. I impatiently came to his home to find the household registration book, but he actually wanted to sleep a bit more. Ridiculous. How could I let him sleep more? I want to be the first woman to register for marriage today. For the first time, I hated the Civil Affairs Bureau. Why did it open so late? After receiving the marriage certificate, the man I had loved for so many years, finally, is only mine.